Hello everyone, so today is 1st of September and we are going to discuss some of the important current affairs MCQs for test NET, IFT and XAT examination. So before I start, I just want to convey that 82 of my students who enrolled to my batches got final selection at test 2023 batch. So if you also want to enroll to our courses, you can do that. We have 3 courses, that is for general awareness, quant, LRDI and English, which also includes speaking. The cost for every course is 2000, and if you will enroll to all the 3, it will be rupees 5000. So you will have live classes, private recordings, quizzes, flashcards, assessments, then daily quizzes and clubhouse sessions. If you want to enroll, then you can message me at 7764869624. A says Pigovian tax, B says progressive tax, C says direct tax, and D says indirect tax. A Pigovian tax is intended to tax the producer for goods or services that create adverse side effects for the society. For example, the tax on cigarette, then the tax on petrol, diesel or carbon emitting substances. They are levied to discourage the use of those things and they are termed as Pigovian taxes. Then you have progressive tax. Now what is progressive tax? We have 2 types of taxation, indirect and direct. The direct tax, which is also called income tax, is basically progressive. So if your income is very less, you don't earn that much, then you might not have to give tax at all. But if it is above a particular limit, you might be giving 10% tax, and above again a particular limit, you will have to pay 30% tax. It might happen. So that is an example of progressive tax. As your income increases, so your taxation also increases. The best example is income tax in India. Okay, income tax in India is progressive. Now this particular tax, that is GST, is an example of indirect tax, which is levied equally on each and every person. So it is not progressive, it is regressive. So suppose you are purchasing a packet of Lay's. On that packet, certain amount of tax will be levied, and that taxation will be the same for all of us. Whatever we buy, whoever will buy that Lay's will have to pay 10 rupees. Suppose that 10 rupee is equal for a poor person also and a rich person also. So that is an example of indirect tax, which is regressive. So there was a news on GST, and these concepts are important from the point of view of development studies. Now come to second question. It says, where is the headquarters of UNHCR? So what is the full form of UNHCR? The full form is United Nations High Commission for Refugees. A says Geneva, B says Kigali, C says Nairobi, and D says The Hague. So you have one task, and that is you have to write where, in which countries all these cities are located. Kigali is located in which country, Nairobi is located in which country, and The Hague is located in which country. So the answer to this will be Geneva. Okay, so UNHCR has a headquarters in Geneva. Now come to question number 3. It says, which of the following has been adopted as the state bird of Ladakh? It is not talking about state animal, which is snow leopard. It is talking about state bird. A says great hornbill, B says great flamingo, C says great Indian bustard, and D says black-necked crane. So basically great hornbill is the state animal of 2 extremes of India. One extreme is Kerala, the other one is Arunachal Pradesh. So it is the state animal of both Kerala and Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, this is interesting. And then great flamingo. You might have seen some photographs of Run of Kutch. There a lot of flamingo will be there. It is the state bird of Gujarat. And the great Indian bustard is the state bird of Rajasthan. And this year we had CMS at Gandhinagar, and the mascot was Gibi. That is, Gibi name was derived from Great Indian Bustard. So the answer for this will be black-necked crane, and this has a special place in Buddhism. Okay, now come to 4th question. It says, which river is considered India's cleanest and clearest river? clearest and cleanest river. A says Umangkot river, B says Lohit, C says Dhansiri, and D says Pagladia. So all these rivers are rivers of northeast. So the answer will be Umangkot. This is in Meghalaya. There was a news regarding this. So in Meghalaya we have Umangkot river, which is the clearest or the cleanest river. There you can see the shadow. Okay. Now come to question number 5. Who was not a founder of non-alignment movement? Again we had an article, there was mention of non-alignment movement. So who among the following did not founded the non-alignment movement? A says Abdel Nasser, who was from Egypt. B says Sukarno, who was from Indonesia. C says Kwame Nkrumah, who was from Ghana. And D says Hideki Tojo, who was from Japan. So the answer for this will be Hideki Tojo. Hideki Tojo was someone who was involved in the World War II. Now some of the prominent figures and founders of non-alignment movement were Jawaharlal Nehru from India, Sukarno from Indonesia, then Marshal Tito, or GB Tito as he is called. He was from Czechoslovakia. Now Czechoslovakia has been divided into two countries, Czech Republic and Slovakia. And then Abdel Nasser was from Egypt and Kwame Nkrumah was from Ghana. Now come to question number 6. It says that 26th COP of UNFCCC is going to happen in A says Santiago, which is the capital of Chile. B says Madrid, which is the capital of Spain. C says Glasgow, which is in UK. And D says Bonn, which is in Germany. Okay, so the answer to this particular thing will be Glasgow, which is in UK. So this was easy and we had discussed that in our videos also. Now come to question number 7. It says who is known as the father of microfinance? So there was an article on microfinance. So who is regarded as the father of microfinance? This particular question is again important from the point of view of development studies at this. A says Mahbub ul Haq, B says Amartya Sen, C says Muhammad Yunus, and D says A.O. Hirschman. So the answer to this will be Muhammad Yunus. And Muhammad Yunus was the person who asked this to start a course on development studies. Then a course of development studies was started. This is also very important. Now come to 8th question for today. It says Purchasing Managers Index is an indicator of what? A says manufacturing sector, B says online retailing, C says crypto market, D says performance of primary sector. So the answer for this will be manufacturing sector. This is important because there was a separate news, a big news over it. So you should be knowing Purchasing Managers Index tells about the growth in manufacturing and service sector. Okay, whether there is expansion or contraction. So this was all for today. If you want to enroll to our courses, you can text me at 7764869624. So thank you. Thanks for watching.